Greetings, viewers! I come before you today as a member of Hattori Hanzo and the Ninjas, wherein I am known as Satori, the Soul Seer. We, Hattori Hanzo and the Ninjas, reside in Aichi, Japan, where we spend our days roaming about Nagoya Castle and performing our samurai ninja show on the weekends, alongside the Nagoya Samurai Kings. By all means, come visit us someday, when the time is right. But as for today's agenda, we shall discuss how to walk like an Egyptian. First, place your arms like this, and do your best to create clean, 90-degree angles. Wait a moment, that can't be right. Someone has tampered with my notes! Who has done this? Come forth and face me.
Got you!
She got me. Today we shall discuss how to walk like a ninja. Now, as we have discussed previously, there are two types of ninja missions, In and Yo. During In missions, a shinobi must secretly enter a castle or some other area in enemy territory. In addition to being unseen, he must also be unheard. So there must be some way for a ninja to move about quietly. Indeed there is! Introducing Shinobi Ashi. Now, as you probably know, Shinobi is another word for ninja. And here we have the word Ashi, which translates to foot or leg. Therefore, if we were to translate this technique into English, we could call it ninja foot, for example. However, Shinobi Ashi is actually comprised of two different techniques. The first technique is Nuki Ashi. As we just mentioned, Ashi means foot, and here Nuki comes from the verb nuku, which could be translated to take out or to draw out. For example, katana o nuku means to draw your sword. Therefore, Nuki Ashi can be thought of as pulling out your foot as if it were lodged into a sheath or some hole in the ground. This has a number of benefits. First of all, you may not be aware of it, but when you are walking normally, you are using your back foot to push into the ground and shift your weight forward into your front foot. By contrast, Nuki Ashi allows you to pull your foot up without pressing into the ground to shift your weight. Hence, it is much quieter. Another benefit of Nuki Ashi is that it allows you to avoid running into obstacles. Rather than simply advancing forward with your feet low to the ground like in a normal stride, in Nuki Ashi, you raise your foot and your leg, and then carry it over any kind of obstacle that might be in your way. Satori, why not just use your eyes to not run into anything? Duh! Need I remind you that shinobi are often sneaking about in the dark, in enemy territory no less, where trip lines or other traps are a high possibility? The second constituent in Shinobi Ashi would be Sashiyashi. In this instance, sashi comes from the verb sasu, which has many different meanings, but in this instance, we could translate it to insert. Therefore, with Sashiyashi, you may imagine carefully inserting your foot into a hole, for example. You lower your foot into the ground as if you were targeting a specific point, and starting from your pinky toe, slowly roll your weight into that foot. This gradual shift of weight is much quieter than simply stepping with all of your weight like one normally would. Additionally, like with Nuki Ashi, Sashiyashi allows you to avoid running into traps or other unseen obstacles. As you can see, after executing Nuki Ashi, you slowly advance forward, and then use Sashiyashi to carefully lower your foot into a new spot. Indeed, if you're in the dark, then it is certainly still possible to step on a trap or some other unseen object. However, the controlled movement and the gradual shift of weight allows you to feel any objects beneath your feet and then adjust accordingly, advancing forward safely and silently, even if you run into a smidge of trouble. The combination of Nuki Ashi and Sashiyashi gives us Shinobi Ashi, one of the most common ways for a ninja to move about during incognito missions. But in addition, there are many other ways for a ninja to walk, such as O Ashi, Ko Ashi, Suri Ashi, Kizami Ashi. Perhaps the most interesting of all would be Shinso Toho, which we could roughly translate to the deep grass rabbit step. Shinso Toho involves crouching low and walking on top of your hands. It is considered to be the quietest way of moving about because the hands offer greater sensitivity and control than the feet. This may appear like a fun activity, but I must warn you, in all honesty, it hurts your hands! Especially if you're not used to it. Therefore, I propose you start with Nuki Ashi and Sashiyashi, and combining them into Shinobi Ashi. What do you think? Give Shinobi Ashi a try and let us know how it went for you in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and follow Hattori Hanzo and the Ninjas on all of our social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Can you call this a tube? And with that, dear viewers, until next time, I bid you a very warm farewell. May we meet someday in the land of the rising sun. Dodo!